I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Last month marked the end of our country's 20-year war with Afghanistan, and veteran support organizations are seeing an increase in requests for counseling and other mental health services. Here in Montgomery County, there are more than 42,000 veterans. At the Veterans Center in Silver Spring, Wayne Miller wants to let those veterans know there is support for those who may be struggling.
The ending of the war in Afghanistan brought back intrusive memories of Vietnam veterans of leaving the embassy in Saigon with people hanging off the skids of the helicopter falling to their death, and then seeing the airplane leave Afghanistan and people falling off the plane, falling to their death, which also brought back 9/11 of people falling out of the World Trade Center towers, jumping to their death.
Intrusive memories that create anger, fear, sadness, and even joy.
People are at home and they have more time to get into their head. And we're finding that because what we tell them to do in the past was to come out of the house, go out in the community, talk about your issues and stuff, have a buddy and those type of things. Now with Zoom and being at home, they have more time to think about what's going on, and they watch a lot of the news, so it triggers a lot of their memories, and it causes intrusive memories to come back.
At the center in Silver Spring, clients are seen on a daily basis where they participate in counseling, benefits assistance, substance abuse counseling, and medical referrals.
Silver Spring Vet Center.
And they are getting calls from Gold Star and Blue Star family members and veterans of all ages.
Okay, when would you like to come in? What we try to work with them is it's okay to be angry about the situation. And you don't have to apologize for your emotions, but you are responsible for your reactions. So how do you respond? How do you react to your anger? How do you act or respond to your sadness, your joy, and then your fear? And then to talk about those things.
Well, our veterans have sacrificed so much on behalf of all of us, and people forget this is a voluntary military, and people volunteer their time and energy and emotion and risk their lives on behalf of all of us. So the least we can do as a community and as a society is honor their service to all of us by supporting them in every way that we can, whether it's programs, services, or through policy. All of it is critical.
Here is a list of just some of the resources available to our veterans. Miller says family members should look for signs that veterans are struggling. This includes withdrawal or emotional outbursts and changes in personality, and to ask the hard questions. Help is available 24 hours a day and just a phone call away.
Thank you for taking the time today and coming to Fire Ops 101.
We all always appreciate everything that our first responders, our fire and rescue and police officers do. Until you actually experience it, you really appreciate what they do.
So you'll notice, you can see inside the now how disoriented it's going to be when we close it up and it's completely dark in here.
Wow, it was disorienting, it was challenging, it was dark. But it certainly is something where it gives you an idea of what our firefighters have to go through when they're going through a very dark building and trying to navigate their way around, not knowing what is at the next step, what's around the corner. It really gives you a great understanding of some of the challenges that they face, so really enlightening.
That was a really powerful experience. So it just gives you a deep appreciation for the sacrifices that the men and women of our fire and rescue squad make every day, and how complicated it is to respond to all of the various calls they have to respond to. They have to be prepared for literally everything. And thank goodness they are, because it helps keep us all safe, and I'm gonna sleep a little bit better tonight knowing they're doing what they're doing.
All right, have at it.
It was great, really awesome learning experience, and just gives you a newfound appreciation just to see a small glimpse. I mean, we were only in a couple hundred degrees. I think an average house fire is 800 to 1,000 degrees, 4 or 5 times what we were in, and they train even hotter than that. And we were only in there for one session for about 10 minutes. They do many sessions a day for 20 just to train. That doesn't even include when they're actually going out and putting themselves at risk on a daily basis. So make sure you thank your firefighters and first responders next time you see them. They certainly deserve it every day.
Hi, I'm Andrew Friedson, Montgomery County Council's lead for parks, and proud to represent the Agricultural Reserve. In the farms of the Agricultural Reserve, there's a matchmaking service. It's called Landlink Montgomery. The goal is to match a farmer with a landowner, and it's operated by the Montgomery Countryside Alliance.
The most rewarding parts of this is bringing together people who otherwise wouldn't ever meet. And that could be someone who just really wants to farm but lives down county in Bethesda or Wheaton, Silver Spring, just doesn't have access to land.
Someone like Nia Nimweya, who lives in Silver Spring. She found her match using Landlink.
Come on, baby girl.
Hi, Sophia.
Hey.
With Susan Davis, who owns a farm in Barnesville.
I really lucked out because Susan was the first person that I talked to in the Landlink program, and we matched on values, which was really important. So getting food to community and being community-centered.
The vision of community working together, the vision of people being able to share food.
And also I'm participating in the Mana's Farm to Food Bank program this year. So 900 pounds of what is grown on the plot is going to Mana Food Center.
So I feel like Nia has, staked a claim on this small plot. What you can do with very little land can feed families all year long.
Part of what I wanted to do with a farm was grow culturally relevant African heritage crops. My dad is from Kenya, and so that was super important to me. Called sweet potato pumpkin, and is an African American heirloom squash. No, Landlink's been great because I grew up in Montgomery County in Silver Spring. Didn't know about the Ag Reserve at all.
That color is amazing.
Feels good, and I'm eternally grateful to you to be in relationship with you and being here.
Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound.
International Underground Railroad Month recognizes the Underground Railroad's contribution to ending slavery here in the United States. Maryland has the most documented successful Underground Railroad escapes, and Montgomery County has many stories of heroism in that effort, including that of Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, and Josiah Henson.
And we all enjoy a much more perfect union that was given to us by Henson and Douglass and Tubman and so many others. We have to rededicate ourselves and remind all of our residents that it's our job to do everything we can to create a more perfect union for the next generation.
One of Josiah Henson's descendants, Mia Lewis, spoke of the legacy he left her to live by.
It took me becoming an adult to realize that my family is not the norm. We are the exception. Not because we are perfect or even better than any other family, but because we were left with an inheritance to pull from, to be inspired by, and to be proud of, our Uncle Tom. A legacy that we were just not taught, but a legacy that we experienced through the actions of our elders.
To learn more about the Underground Railroad and the story of Josiah Henson, you can visit the Josiah Henson Museum and Park Friday to Sunday between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. For more information, visit the website. Located on East Diamond Avenue in the heart of Old Town, Victor Lutz Music is in its 60th year, and it's run by second-generation family members Tony Lutz and his sister Terry, as well as third-generation family members Logan and his brother Michael.
My father started the business right here in Old Town Gaithersburg, about 10 stores down, next to what was Wolfson's department store, which was the Katz family as well.
We certainly called him by Mr. Lutz. Very much, I mean, very nice man. Their store was next to ours, so either they were in their place or we were in their place.
Councilmember Sidney Katz and family have been lifelong friends of the Lutz family.
One of my brothers, my middle brother, played the clarinet, and he would be in there constantly buying reeds.
Founder Victor Lutz started the business by giving private music lessons and group lessons to the city of Gaithersburg.
And he borrowed $300 and bought Troy's music, and here we are today.
Tony says the reputation the family has built over the past 60 years is something he is very proud of. As the community has grown, so has the business.
What is it?
It's a snare drum.
Wow.
For my son, 10-year-old son, he's always wanted to play drums, so he's very excited.
They teach music lessons on site and virtually.
And we now have a full record store in here. It's all used.
And they recently bought out a used record store that's on display in their showroom.
Probably the big thing for us in Montgomery County is the lessons and the rental business, the educational stuff that goes through, 4th and 5th graders start music, and then we get to get them in, they get exposed to the store. If you can dream it, they have invented it. Cowboy style, if you will.
Tony Lutz says they have been very fortunate, not only during the pandemic, but over the entire course of the store's existence. He and his sister consider their customers and staff family and are optimistic that Victor Lutz will be connecting the community with music for the next 60 years.
Did you get what you needed?
I did, thank you.
We love music, and the family certainly loves music, and we encourage the music for everyone. Personally, I'm just a workaholic. I really enjoy every bit of it.
A somber morning in Rockville as leaders and community members gathered to recognize the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks that took place that fateful Tuesday morning. The community remembrance not only honored the more than 2,900 victims of the September 11th attacks, but also the lives of 11 people who called Montgomery County home.
And now we remember William Edward Caswell.
Dr. Gerald Paul Fisher, who we remember today.
Captain Lawrence Getzford.
Michelle M. Heidenberger, who we remember today.
Angela Marie Houtz.
We honor and remember Teddington Ham Moy.
In honor of and remembrance of Lieutenant Darren H. Pontel.
Scott A. Powell.
In memory of Todd Hayes Rubin.
Tricia Statz.
Ernest M. Wiltshire, who we remember today.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.